So, welcome to my presentation, and Martin, thanks for having me at NXYBLD this year. Will shotcrete save the world, or at least construction? That's a bold question to ask, you might wonder. And who is this gentleman asking the question? My name is Türk. I'm CEO and co-founder of Aeditive. I'm a mathematician by training and a former strategy consultant to the tech industry, so in essence, I'm a tech guy. And I've been in the construction industry for slightly more than a year. Yep, it's a bold question for someone like me to ask. In this 1 year in construction, though, I've learned two key things. And I've learned these two key things from talking to various stakeholders along the entire value chain, from investors, over architects, to construction companies, precasters, structural engineers, literally everyone involved in the construction value chain. The first thing I've learned is humans need buildings. Buildings are really important to humanity. And people tend to forget about that. They tend to forget about it because they are either professionally involved with buildings, such as all of you. They tend to forget about it because buildings are everywhere around them, every day and the majority of the day. But I just want to reinstate, buildings are really important to humans. They provide shelter, housing, offices for people to work in, and infrastructure for people to travel. And when I was young, I always wanted to work with software and computers. This was the new stuff. This was the cool stuff. But if you look at how big the construction industry is and how much of an impact construction and buildings have on people's life, I think now taking technology into the construction industry is something that really gets me excited. So in essence, I think what you do in the construction industry and what we do together is really important to humans. And the second thing I've learned is construction is about to change. And I've heard that from literally everyone and anyone I've talked to in the construction industry. I've heard things such as, we need more productization, we need more prefabrication, and of course, we need digitalization. And everyone is ready to start that process. Now, what's our role? What is Aeditive's role in changing the construction industry? We are a startup. We are headquartered in Hamburg, Germany. The company was founded in 2019, so slightly more than a year ago. We currently have a team of 10. It's a very diverse team. It involves software engineers, mechanical engineers, civil engineers, material scientists. It's a very, very, very diverse team. And our roots date back to an academic research project in which 3 of my co-founders engaged, and that today built the technological nucleus of our business. So let's take a look at what we do. Here's a quick video impression for you. I hope you enjoyed the quick video, and I now want to talk to you about 3 things. Why we do what we do at Aeditive, what it is that we do at Aeditive, and how we do it. Let's start with the most important one, why. Why is Aeditive doing what we do every day? First of all, because humans need buildings. And we have already discussed that. But that's what really drives us out of bed in the morning, because we know that what we do ultimately has a big impact on people's life. Second, shortage of skilled labor. When I talk to precast companies, when I talk to construction companies, I hear a lot that the workforce is aging, many retirements are coming up, and they have really big challenges recruiting adequate talent for their construction sites and for their precast factories in the next years. And that brings challenges to both the company, but also from a macroeconomic perspective, because ultimately it means that the output volumes in construction will shrink. Productivity has been flat for decades, and now that we lack the workforce, it ultimately means there will be less output of the construction industry. And that means less buildings, less housing, less offices, and delayed infrastructure projects. Third reason for the why of what we do is sustainability. We live in a time of climate change, yet the construction industry is responsible for a huge part of greenhouse gas emissions. Specifically, cement is responsible for 8% of global CO2 emissions. And we have to act on that quickly. How can we do that? And the last reason that is on our list is cost kills variety. And that's the one I get a lot when I talk to architects. And I have to say I agree. Of course, not every building is a greenfield project where you start from zero, from scratch. But on the other hand, I wouldn't like every building to look the same, even if there is cost pressure in this world, because it would destroy inspiration, and also the industry wouldn't keep improving if things all converge to the same solution. So probably truth is somewhere between, and we want to contribute to that. We want to stop cost from killing variety. And I know for a fact that many architects, whenever they deviate from standard designs, they even have challenges determining the cost of what they planned quickly. And once they have then obtained that cost, every deviation from standard will be rolled back, and they will stick with the standard again because the cost of their individual design was too high. So, what do we do to address the issues I just mentioned? At the very core of what we do is our product, the Concrete Aeditor. It's an integrated 3D printer for concrete, and it works with shotcrete. It outputs ready-to-use elements with maximum dimensions of 11 by 4 by 4 meters. These elements include the reinforcement, which is very special because we can do it in shotcrete. They include built-in parts, and they are ready to install. The process is moldless. It requires no formwork, which means we also avoid any waste from formwork. We print our elements on a steel pallet, which provides for a smooth surface on one side, and then all the other surfaces we will smoothen and post-process after the printing. The printer can be deployed flexibly, both in precast plants, but also on construction sites. That is why we've put it into containers. And it builds on proven technology. Shotcrete has been around for decades and is well known. Everything we had to do is to improve the shotcrete process so it works with 3D printing. If we look at the hardware components of our printer, I will start with the silos. That's where we store raw materials such as cement. And we ultimately work with local raw materials, which again contributes to our objective of sustainability. We don't require large volume materials to be transported over long distance. These raw materials are then continuously batched into fresh concrete during the process in our integrated batching plant. The concrete will be transported to the primary robot, which in turn applies the material using our proprietary spraying nozzle. A secondary robot will, in parallel, smoothen the surface, integrate built-in parts, integrate reinforcement, do all the other manual activities that you would typically have when you build a concrete element. The transportation system, for example, is one way to integrate our printer easily into a precast plant. And of course, there are many control systems within the printer that orchestrate all the different elements. Our objective is to provide a turnkey solution to the market, which means our product is a lot more than just hardware. We want to solve a problem of our users, a pain point, automation pain point, for example. That's why we go beyond the hardware. We provide at the same time the concrete know-how, recipes, for example, and of course a whole bunch of software. And software is both in the printer, control systems, for example, a user front end on the printer that you can use to start and stop processes, but it's also a cloud-based backend system that allows our users to create print jobs and to schedule their production. Ultimately, our goal is to create revolutionary efficiency in concrete construction. And efficiency has two sides. One is the productivity and automation side. How can we create an end-to-end high degree of automation? And the other side of efficiency is sustainability. How can we be as efficient as possible with the material, with the raw materials we consume? And this paradigm of revolutionary efficiency has influenced many of our design decisions during the engineering process. That's why we work with industrial robots instead of gantry systems. It's why we print concrete modules instead of printing entire buildings. Because we ultimately believe that this will allow for a higher degree of automation if you look at the process end to end. Of course, we've also looked at processes such as cleaning and replenishing, and we found good solutions for those to maintain and achieve a high degree of end-to-end automation. Aeditive is a technology provider. I told you before, I'm a tech guy, and Aeditive is a tech company. We provide our technology to the market, to our users in the construction industry. We do not print concrete elements ourselves. Our users print concrete elements by applying our technology. And we think that the time of digital in construction has come now, and especially the time of 3D printing has come now. And to further drive the adoption of such technology in the construction industry, we believe that simplicity is key. That's why we keep all the processes and all the user interfaces in our product as simple as possible. And we also apply the principle of simplicity to our business model. Our users should not have to invest in such technology, but rather pay for using it, using very simple metrics such as output volumes. Finally, let's take a look at how we do it, and also why Aeditive is where we are after just 1 year of operations. First of all, we've listened, and we've listened from the very beginning. We've listened to all the stakeholders along the construction value chain, to what their pain points are and what their beliefs for the future are. We've then taken this learning and engineered the product around it in an agile process. And agile is a process that helps you to always know what your priorities are. It comes from the software world, and at Aeditive, we've learned how to also apply it to hardware engineering and to material engineering. And that has been a true accelerator of our engineering processes. And lastly, most of the team are engineers, and we have an engineering mindset. We are a tech company with an engineering mindset, which means we push each other until we find the best solution for the problem at hand. And we can go really, really deep into such technical solution. So let me conclude what to expect from us. First, you will see our printers, our concrete editors live in the field next year, and you will see them print concrete elements. And secondly, as we add more talent to the team, you will see our growth and our progress accelerate even further. Thank you very much, and let's jointly work towards revolutionary efficiency in concrete construction. And I'm looking forward to meeting you in the Q&A later.